We are at it again today, another day, same chores. Feeling kind of weird today. I woke up in a really good mood. I had gotten a lot of sleep, finally, after several nights of little to no rest. And I was feeling really motivated and excited about the farm business class I took yesterday and wanting to, brainstorm on some ideas I had. And then I got on Facebook and I found out that a good friend of ours that we actually met on Facebook had passed away this morning. And it's kind of hard. So it kind of threw me into a whole different perspective for the day, and I'm just kind of trudging along through the day. I got my tomatoes that were left cut up, and I decided I would come out here and see what other tomatoes needed to be picked. Have a little garden therapy to help me feel better. And Liam went down for a nap, so I've got the baby monitor and listen out for him while Rowan watches a little bit of Netflix. And I get my therapy in the garden. So that the garden therapy helps because I have a lot of other stuff that we really need to get done today. So it's just me and the boys and my emotions, which will be alright. But my heart goes out to my dear friend and what she's going through. Losing a partner of 50 years. I truly cannot imagine. I love you, Debbie. Any of you who already follow Debbie's Back Porch on Facebook or her YouTube channel, you probably know who I'm talking about by now. So, she's a good friend of mine, and we've been together on Facebook for a long time. And I've met them in person, and Fred's a great guy, and just hard to believe. So, hug your loved ones closer, because you never know when your time is up. Sorry. Well, that helped a little. It's funny that I ended up coming out here to pick tomatoes to try to handle some of my grief that I'm feeling over the loss of a friend, because that's kind of how we met. For those of you who don't know, Passionate Plants is my Facebook page that I started, 6 years ago or more. And I've just recently updated the name to Wholesome Roots Passionate Plant, if you're looking for that page on Facebook. But anyway, it must have been 4 years ago that Debbie was following along on Passionate Plants and struck up a conversation with me and started sharing pictures of her tomato seedlings. She was really into tomatoes, and I'm really into tomatoes, and we formed a bond over tomatoes. And Fred always was out picking the tomatoes every day. He would go out to the garden and bring in tomatoes, and all summer long Debbie would laugh, and by the end of the summer complain about how many tomatoes Fred kept bringing in. She would just can and can and can, and Fred would keep bringing them in. But he could not stand to not pick the tomatoes. He would pick them all every day, and I'll always remember that. I'll always think of him when I think of tomatoes. But anyway, so we met on Facebook, and she formed her own group called Debbie's Back Porch. And shortly after she formed that group, so she asked my mother and I to be admins for her new Facebook group, and we became close. We became admins on Debbie's Back Porch, my mom and I, and my mom is Grammy's Potager on Facebook, and we quickly formed a tight bond, and I got to go up and visit and trade tomatoes for squash, and meet Fred in person, and he's a great guy, and he's going to be sorely missed. And my heart goes out to you, Debbie. I have no words. But I'm here if you need anything. I'm here. Alright, so we've got all our tomatoes with the cores removed and any bad spots cut away. And we are moving to the next step. I'm not cutting all of these up this time. I'm just going to go ahead and get them chopped up in the food processor and turn them into something delicious. Yes, I have a lot of tomatoes. I just added 2.5 Vidalia onions, sweet onions, and I got my organic cilantro all ready to go in the food processor. I'm going to throw that in, and I think I'm going to add 2 mangoes instead of sugar, because mango salsa is awesome. And now I'm going to go see why Liam is screaming. I think he's just trying to open something and he gets frustrated. I shredded my cilantro with the mango. And in order to get this stirred in, I'm just using my hand. Doesn't everybody? Well, I do. So mixing this in, and then I'm going to get garlic and some seasonings added to it, and that'll be pretty much all I need to do to make delicious, lovely, wonderful salsa for my family. And considering how much volume I have here, it's probably about 2 gallons. So we'll probably be sharing. I say probably because we do eat a lot of salsa. And if I do lacto fermentation with it, we'll be able to make it last for months in the fridge. So I think that's the route I'm going to go. Alright, so let me get to the garlic. Head of garlic ground up in there. And then I'm going to add some chili powder, some cumin, maybe some fresh oregano. Maybe not, because I got the cilantro, but I'm just going to play around with some seasoning and spices and salt, and we're done. I have peppers to add still, in addition to the spices and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and chop these up and add them, and then we're done. Here, y'all, might be the biggest batch of salsa I've ever made. That says a lot. So I put extra salt. The reason why I put extra salt is because I'm going to lacto ferment it, and the salt helps keep the bad bacteria from being able to multiply or reproduce. So only the good bacteria will survive. I'm going to add a little bit of whey from some organic yogurt I have, and that'll help speed up the fermentation process and keep it in the proper ranges of lacto fermentation. And that's it. I think that's all I can handle for today. Now I'm going to go play with kids.